He's tall.
I'm going camping this week now.
Thank you.
So we have Masha as our first speaker. I met her at Good Anya. She was the person who was always dancing whenever there was music. So she can't help it. But let's introduce Masha.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, June, for creating this. This has been a wonderful experience in my coming back to North County. So thank you for being here. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to have beautiful relationships with your family members, your partners, and yourself? Well, I believe that it's possible for you because it became possible for me, and I'd love to share my story why. Is that good?
Something's going on with this.
I can also just talk. Is this better? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, much better.
Let me share my story of how that became possible for me. So I was born in Kazakhstan, yes, like Borat, during the time when the Soviet Union was collapsing. And some of you may have experienced what it's like to be born into a collapsing regime. Maybe not you, but maybe your parents or grandparents. And that actually encodes in your DNA. So my family went from having 2 apartments and abundance to barely surviving. Can you imagine eating your pet rabbit to survive? I barely remember much from the tender age of 4, but I remember eating my pet rabbit and crying as I was doing that. So we decided, So we decided to move to Israel because of our Jewish roots to start fresh. Have any of you experienced moving to a new location to start fresh? Yeah. Well, I didn't speak the language, so I was bullied. I was an outcast, and my family felt the same, so we moved to the United States. Again, didn't speak the language, was bullied again. Anyone ever experienced being an outcast? But my dad moved us here so we can have the American dream. I'm sure some of you are immigrants or are born to immigrant parents so that you could have that American dream. How's that going for everyone? Well, I followed the right path. I went to Berkeley, got an economics degree, went into an investment job, and I thought I was doing all the right things. And then suddenly, my mother was diagnosed with late-stage cancer. And that's when my whole world just shattered. We, of course, trusted the medical system. We went the Western approach. And unfortunately, there was a malpractice, and the system failed us. So we began to question everything. And one of those questions was, how does disease actually start in the body? So once the malpractice happened, my mom was very weak. So we went into the more holistic approaches, the Gerson therapy, the coffee enemas, the juicing. But it wasn't until she was really dying that she shared her story with my sister, that her brothers used to beat her when she was little. So how does disease really start? Most of us have cancer cells that go through our bodies 7 to 10 times in our lifetime. But if you release your traumas, release your feelings, your energy, your chi just flows through. However, if you hold on to a story and you never share your traumas, then that can lock up in your body. When anything happens around the family, that's the root chakra, and that's where my mom had her cancer. So how many of you have some unreleased traumas? And what about your parents and your grandparents? Do you know their fears, their traumas, their scarcity? Because all of that is passed down from generation to generation. What you suppress doesn't disappear. It lives in your nervous system. It lives in your patterns, and it lives in your relationships. Most people are walking around with a dysregulated nervous system. Yes, they tell us to numb it with alcohol. Yes, they prescribe pain killers and subscription pills. just so you can numb it, so you don't really feel it. But what if I told you that the path to your healing is actually to feel it? Feel it so you can heal it. And what if the feelings are a little bit too intense right now? Did you know that those feelings could be from past generations because they were never allowed to feel it and heal it? So I want to welcome you to bring your hands to your heart and tap on your chest, your energetic heart, which is the center of your chest. Maybe close your eyes for a moment and repeat to yourself, it is safe for me to feel.
Safe for me to feel.
Feeling it is healing it.
Feeling it is healing it.
When I feel, I heal my parents.
When I heal my parents.
When I feel, I heal myself.
When I feel, I heal myself.
So what I've handed out to you is the frequency chart of your emotions. When you walk into a room, it's not about what you say. People can immediately pick up your energy, your frequency, what vibration you're actually vibrating on. So I want you for a moment imagine a river flowing down. And it's a beautiful, clear river with fish swimming and turquoise color. And you're like a little stream that enters the river, right? The river is the collective consciousness, and you're a little stream that joins the river. Well, if you've got plastic water bottles flowing on that stream, that's the little complaints or the little resentments that you're holding in the body. If you've got some chemical toxic spill, that's that anger, that resentment that you've been holding on to all your life. And that's what you bring into the collective consciousness, into the stream. So do you want to bring the clean energy and the healthy energy, or do you want to bring that negative energy? So I welcome you to ask yourself these following questions. Who do you still need to forgive? What are you still holding on that's causing you tension, resentment, protection? And what are you carrying that doesn't even belong to you? Because your state, your energy, and your nervous system doesn't just affect you. It affects every room you walk into, every relationship, and everyone you meet. Thank you.
You have question and answer?
All right. Yes. Oh.
What was the revolutionary pivot that switched you from economics to discovering the power of exploring emotions and healing people through emotions?
So once my mother passed and we waited, my mom said, don't leave your dad alone. So it took him a year to get into another relationship, and they're still together. She has the same name as my mom, and she also lost her husband that same year as my mother died. That's when my sister and I went and traveled to India and studied modalities like meditation and yoga to really understand that the mind affects your body and that your emotional state affects you. So yeah, I quit my job and began to do that for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Is it working? I just got lost with what you were saying. Like literally, I was on the river behind my house. Like when you stopped, I was like, "Wait, I'm still there. Why are you?" I just wanted to tell you that I've never had anybody like do that to me. Like I listen, I meditate, but you just took me someplace that was incredible. Thank you.
Thank you. I teach meditation, so that's good.
That was the lovely journey. Can you tell us just a little bit more about the specifics of how you might work with a person? And you mentioned certain modalities and stuff like that. But can you just sort of break it down for us?
I think my biggest gift, I have many modalities under my belt, doing this for 11 years, but I think my biggest gift is to listen and to hold a space. So a lot of the times, people share with me something they've never been able to share with anyone. And I don't work like a therapist. It's not like a 1-hour session. When I work with someone, it's like, hey, I'm blocking off like 4 to 5 hours of my day. Let's get deep. So it takes about an hour for someone to actually get comfortable and really drop and feel safe in their body when we're connecting. So once that happens, then like more can come out. And then while we're working together, I introduce different modalities like meditation, like breath work, like movement, so that the body can feel safer and safer to release and more. And a lot of the times, the people I work with, they're like, I've never been able to share this with anyone. And finally, when they share it, when they release it, they just like quantum leap, and they're able to really enjoy life and build businesses, and it's amazing. Yeah. Thank you.
So powerful.
Thank you.
So I was just curious if you had heard about TRE, or if you used TRE, or you know the background of TRE, because it fits beautifully for what you're talking about. And the research is, so TRE is trauma response, and it's literally shaking the nervous system, the body is a shake. Every animal that's a mammal on the planet knows how to release trauma. The reason we carry it is because when the trauma happened, we did not shake and we were not helped. We have to be witnessed and helped. So why they developed TRE is because they witnessed young children who witnessed a horrific trauma, like their parents being blown apart or like horror, rape, whatever. And after that, they saw that they shook, and the ones that got held and were able to cry or just amazed even for just a few minutes never experienced post-traumatic stress. Allow that to sink into your body. And what I've seen 27 years as a clinician, disease hits because we store the crap in our bodies. We don't talk about it. It's all the taboo. When we do talk about it, we get shut down because we chose the wrong person and we're never held. So literally, we can move through any trauma by sharing it and being held. And then emoting will not go into a dark hole. 90 seconds, people can release all.
I never knew the official name, but I do both of those modalities in my practice.
So the group is very healing because we're a very huggy group.
Hi, I have a friend who deals with rheumatoid arthritis. Is that anything that can be supported with that?
I can't guarantee any results, and I'm not a doctor to be able to diagnose, but I feel that everything is stored in the body. So if your friend has things that she's never shared before, I would welcome her to explore that, to be able to release that. And also, you know, like there are other modalities like plant medicine that help with that, and there's science behind it. And that's something that I also hold space for when that's needed, if that is called to her.
Everybody, let's give Masha a round of applause. The best way to get a hold of her, we put her contact information on the flyer, that's on the SD events group. But also she has the flyer that she gave to you, which should also have her contact information.
This is a great flyer. Keep it in your journal. It's a good reminder to check on your emotional states before you walk into a room.
Thank you again. Our next speaker basically kind of shocked me with his introduction the very first time he came to this group here. He was very dynamic.